Morning, working on bows, and that is like a strip that I made out of a garbage bag, because this next step in decorating this bow requires that I melt the SInew applique into the back of the bow, because the back of the bow is pretty much dry. I think it's been curing for a couple of weeks, maybe not, but it was dry. And so the first step, and I'll show you, I have the other one unwrapped, the other limb, is that you need to make sure that the applique, the SInew decorations that you stick on the back, bond well to the back. So I'll take warm water and I'll keep washing it over the back over and over and over again, just with my fingers. You don't want to soak it or give it a bath or a shower, you just want to wet it until it gets sticky, and then follow it up with sizing. And then you take the SInew and you build up. Hopefully it shows up. I mean, you need shadows, so it's got kind of a sinuous appearance to it. Now I'll pull back, and then those little bumps would represent spots that I would paint on it. And when that shrinks down, it'll still be visible, but it'll be more subtle. They're still pretty wet. I did this because, not that I've seen it done before. I mean, as far as I know, I might be one of the few people that actually use this technique, because I don't know, I didn't come up with the original idea on my own, because there was a fellow I sold 2 bows to, Penobscot and the short elm bow, that used to take SInew and mold it into faces and then use raccoon claws for teeth and make just weird troll faces on his bows. But what I do is I'll applique, I don't know what else to call it, medicine wheels or other patterns. Now I could have just done a straight line on there, but keep in mind that the back bends, and I don't want to have any chance of it peeling off. So by doing a sinuous pattern, kind of that winding its way down there like a river, it's not going to be as stressed when it's drawn as it would if it was a straight line. So it's kind of like a spring. And so you have to baby it, you have to fuss with it. I'll wrap it, unwrap it, mold it, cajole it with my fingers, put little thin glue washes over it so it'll melt in. And you can kind of see, when I see melting in, that's beginning to melt in. Once it's done, it'll look like it was done while I was backing the bow originally. And I'm going to step back here. This is for Glenn. Glenn wanted to make a horse bow, possibly using one of my blanks, but I've had this nice, you can see it, it's recurved too. It was originally a recurved D bow, made from a walnut stave. I dug down to the heartwood, so that's actually a stave-made bow, and not a board bow. And he felt, he wanted to make a ghost bow, horse bow, so got a hold of him and said, "Hey, Glenn, I have this nice walnut stave-made bow, and I'll put the bends in it for a horse bow," and offered the price, and he said okay, and so I'm in the process of bending it for him. And Glenn, if you're watching this, you can always give the handle more setback, although if you look at the original Plains bows, they were a little more subtle than sometimes I tend to do with the overdone setback. I do like to have overdone setback. And if you look at some, gosh, I say a lot. I'm trying to think. Apache bows, they had serious setback in theirs. And so I guess it's, viable. It's personal choice. As long as you can see it. Hang on, I'm going to turn, don't fall off. Ah! Here's a good shot of the bow. Again, walnut, made from a stave, not from a board. That's the wrapping. You have to let that SInew applique dry really slowly. You want that back to get wet again, to partake in the humidity from your applique work. And so I'm going to go back upstairs and I'm going to rewrap that and just let it sit for longer than I think it should, unwrapping and checking it every so often, but so far it is going really good. Thank you for watching, and I hope I've given you ideas for new techniques as far as your SInew work. Have a great day.